How dare you!
You have stolen my childhood with your honest reviews, and my controller is the best. I will be disliking you till the end.
How dare you!
What?
That speech reflects the growing public outrage.
Not again! What's up YouTube? Welcome to Roman Does Consumer Tips, and today we're looking at quite a few controllers for Nintendo Switch. And this on me is not a parachute, it's not a backpack, this is Woojer. If you want to know what Woojer is, this is a haptic response vest, and the rest I'll tell you about it in my next video. So make sure you hit that subscribe and like button to keep up to date with the video when it comes out. But going back to the controllers, I scavenged them from all corners of Amazon with one sole purpose: to find out if the cheaper ones are worth it and if they're comparable to the more expensive ones. And the results are actually interesting. Here's the price range for all the controllers that I have on my desk right now. So let's see what works and what doesn't. On the first side, all these controllers are identical to each other, more or less, and you would expect them to function in about the same manner. But is it so? Let's find out. So the first on my list is the Split Pad Pro by Hori. This is a licensed Nintendo product. This is not a third-party random item. So it's definitely been looked at by Nintendo, and that's how it looks like on the box. It's easily available at Walmart and many other retailers, including Amazon. And one of the key features of this Joy-Con or Pad Pro, it has additional triggers at the back, as well as it provides you a full controller experience in your hands when playing in a handheld mode. The rear triggers are also programmable, and we'll try to see if it actually works. On the box it looks bright red, but actually when you take it out of the box, it looks slightly dull. It's definitely darker red than what we see on the box, but let's ignore the color and see how it works instead. So to mount them, same as with the original ones, see how nicely they come out? While these guys, they slide in just fine, but when you take them out, they're slightly harder to pull. These controllers, they're charged the same way as the original controllers by Nintendo, and they're pretty easy to connect since they're using the same technology as the original Joy-Cons. One of the first things you'll notice when you pick this up is that console became bigger, and not because of the screen, but actually because of the real estate on the side here. And it feels comfortable to press those additional triggers with your middle fingers. It's a large button that you cannot miss. Everything else is standard or somewhat standard. The button press is surprisingly good, but it's actually when you start playing with it, you'll find a few things. First, it has no vibration response. None of it. Why? I have no idea. And it makes it difficult or impossible to play in pretty much every game I tried. I'm a big fan of the Mario, and latest games, they require the vibration to be there just to sense certain things in the world and to find any hidden objects. Well, it will be impossible with this exact Joy-Con. So if you are playing Mario, just scrap it, this is not for you. The thumbsticks are somewhat lazy on these controllers. And by that I mean they're not as responsive as the original ones from the original Joy-Cons, which makes you move them around a bit more than what you would naturally done with the original controllers. And it simply could be the type of games you're playing on it, but for me, I like that precise, as little as possible movement, so these ones are definitely not for me. Additionally, if you have any of the travel cases that are somewhat standard, these guys will not fit inside. You see how big they are? That means you'll either need to buy a brand new case or find another way of carrying your new Joy-Cons separately from the rest of the system, which could be a hassle, especially if you're traveling. Therefore, on today's list, the Hori Pad Pro goes to the good idea but poorly implemented bucket, right there. Now, before I sum up this video, let's make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button and the bell icon below. Let's tickle those YouTube algorithms and help other people find this video, as I think it would be helpful to many folks just like yourself. Now back to the controllers. As we discovered, the price and brand don't really matter that much when you're buying an additional controller for your Nintendo Switch, but what matters is the vibration response, the built-in gyro, and the overall tactile feel of the controller. And with that said, I have to say that all the Hori controllers turned out to be horrible. Maybe that's why the entire brand is called Hori, but definitely avoid them, they're not worth it, and they are on the mid to higher range of the price scale here. At the same time, try to avoid any of the random controllers just like this one, since many of them are poorly made and the overall longevity of this controller are questionable, how long will it last. Then we covered some of these funny shaped controllers by the same company, by the way, who makes one of these. And I can tell you that if you're buying it for the kids, this could be a good choice, as long as your kids are careful with their toys. Then we have one of these controllers that I prefer to like most of this on the table. And for its price, I think it does pretty good job. It feels solid and well built. Definitely something that any user on a budget should check out. Then we have the Pro controller, the original Pro controller by Nintendo, and to be honest, I'm slightly disappointed because for the price point it's not really worth it. Yes, it's not as expensive as the Pro controllers for Xbox, let's say, but still, I personally feel like the original Joy-Cons that come with the Nintendo Switch are doing job just fine. And the only reason why I would choose the Pro controller by Nintendo over, let's say, the GameSir, which I really liked, is the vibration. But if your games don't require that specific tactile, precise vibration, then maybe GameSir is actually a great alternative, because it can be paired with a lot of other devices, it has great sensors built into it for the gyro, and the overall features, even that additional hook for the cell phone, are definitely a plus. So it's unbeatable at its price point across all these controllers, except for the Pro controller and of course the original Joy-Cons. Here's a quick Roman score for all these controllers. And on that note, I'll see you again. Make sure you're subscribed because some cool videos coming out shortly. See you soon.